Hey guys, welcome to Raw Review. I'm your host Boise, and with Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar on tonight's episode of Raw, can the show live up to the hype? Let's find out with Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. So we kick off the show with none other than the big dog himself, Roman Reigns. I hate that nickname. Pretty much stating that he's ready for Brock Lesnar. It's his yard and he's going to kick Brock Lesnar back to the UFC. Pretty much stating he's going to get his title. You know, the one he never technically won at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Paul Heyman comes out, cuts a decent promo. To be honest, one, the crowd was well behind Roman Reigns. No surprise, he's back in Miami, his hometown, and he has a massive support there. And two, he actually cut a fantastic promo with Paul Heyman, which shows how much Roman Reigns has actually grown as a superstar. Paul Heyman states, yes, Brock Lesnar is here tonight, but he's not coming out, Roman. And Roman cuts a fantastic promo back and forth, which is, like I already said, which really got the crowd up on Roman's side against Brock Lesnar, which was exactly what you want to see on this kind of babyface heel dynamic, which they're putting Brock as the heel, Roman as the babyface. So for me, an opening segment like this, it shows the growth of Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman is always fantastic in these type of segments, and it leads on to the main event later on tonight. So for me, I'm going to give this a decent 5 out of 10. Our first match of the night was Constable Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. A feud which I can pretty much describe as most fans as, why the hell is this still going on? Answer is, no one knows. No one knows why this feud's still carrying on. But yeah, it was a long match. God, 25 minutes at least for both guys. Let's be honest, the best bits about it was Finn Balor in-ring abilities. Yet that's no surprise. Baron Corbin looked like he had to be the controlling one. He dominated the majority of the match, which that's Baron Corbin's character. He's a strong heavyweight, but Finn Balor being an agile, a light heavyweight it works for him, and the crowd was so behind Finn Balor. Again, this is Miami. Finn, big in NXT, so it's no surprise he gets like a hometown welcome on that. But again, the crowd were very much invested in Finn, but the match itself, no one was really that interested in. Corbin did get the win with End of Days. It was a good back and forth type of match. It did look like Finn was going to manage the surprise win a few times with a few quick roll-ups and a DDT victory, but it didn't come off that well. Baron Corbin managed to convert it into a End of Days and got the victory. The crowd wasn't too pleased with the end result. To be honest, I wasn't really. But after the match, Baron Corbin attacked Finn Balor, which is meant to have more, drama to it and add a little bit more flair to this rivalry. But again, it's that question of who's asking for this matchup. No one in particular, and yet because of it, this isn't the end of their feud. So for me, because again, it was a long match, it was definitely exactly what you want from a Finn Balor match, just the wrong opponent for it. So for me, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Next match we did get was Alicia Fox and Natalya. And both women had someone in their corner. Alicia Fox is now, looks like the replacement for Mickie James because she has been injured now. So Alexa Bliss was in her corner, and Ronda Rousey's return to Raw was because she was in Natalya's corner. The match itself was nothing special. Quite a few botches throughout the match. Natalya looked like she was about to slip a few times, and Alicia Fox a 10-year veteran in the company, still making quite a few mistakes in ring is quite surprising. She still has, you know, a main roster position. But yeah, thanks to Alexa Bliss getting involved to the match with the referee being distracted because of Ronda Rousey, well, and Alicia Fox really, knocking out Natalya. Then Alicia Fox, big boot to her face, 1, 2, 3. Alicia Fox does get the victory. Ronda Rousey attacks both Alicia Fox and Alexa Bliss after the match. The numbers games does kind of work against her. Alicia Fox controls Ronda Rousey after this bit, after she gets officially taken out first time. I mean, Alicia Fox comes back like a Terminator and pushes Ronda Rousey through the barricades a few times. I didn't know Alicia Fox was at that stage in her career. You know, seeing as she botches in the ring, and yet somehow she comes bouncing back up after Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet, took her out in the set. It again makes no sense. But after the match, Kurt Angle did announce that Ronda Rousey will have her first official Raw match next week against Alicia Fox. So again, I've got to give this match for the match itself and what happened afterwards. The Ronda Rousey stuff is great. It's definitely what the crowd really wanted to see. The match itself was longer than you expected it to be, but there was too many mistakes in the ring. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Next up, we did get a promo from Elias. Elias is obviously on a high right now. His debut album, Walk with Elias, did come out last week, and it was top of the charts for a while. He started saying I would have been #1 if I wasn't rudely interrupted by Bobby Lashley. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have a Bobby Lashley and Elias feud, because Bobby Lashley comes out, wants to talk to Elias. Elias goes, I know why you're here, Bobby, it's fine. We'll do a sing-along. And Bobby actually does a sing-along with Elias before Elias attacks him. And Bobby Lashley isn't like anyone else, gets back up quite quickly, and pretty much nearly destroys Elias before Elias runs away. Fun segment. I liked that, you know, there's that comedy bit where Elias is trying to, it looks like the crowd is like, oh yeah, sing along, and then, oh, it's Elias, yeah, he's going to attack him in a second. But it was good for what it was. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because I was entertained again by Elias, and pretty much he did diss The Rock, which I was hoping would interrupt him instead. But good segment. Bobby Lashley and Elias feud, why not? It could work. It was a good feud between Seth Rollins and Elias, so why not this? The next matchup we got for the night was Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal, and it really wasn't even a match. Braun Strowman pretty much dominated the majority of a very short match before Kevin Owens came out, stole Braun's suitcase for a few seconds. Braun lost concentration, got out of the ring, chased Kevin Owens round. Kevin threw the suitcase to Sameer Singh. Sameer Singh literally got rugby tackled out of his skin, and Kevin Owens ran up the barricades after Braun took the briefcase off the remains of Sameer Singh and chased after him. This caused the referee to count to 10. Braun lost the match. Jinder Mahal was happy he got a victory over Braun Strowman. Kevin Owens is keeping up to his promise of taking everything away from Braun Strowman, and it's delivering in small amounts of what Kevin Owens is promising, which is quite good. It's building up their feud in a different way this time. Kevin Owens feels like the more of an aggressor towards Braun Strowman, which is definitely needed in this kind of feud. Braun wasn't happy, chased Jinder out of the ring. Jinder celebrated his victory very quick, but it's not the match itself, it's what's happening during the match, which was the most important bit of this segment. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. It's definitely building up the feud better than what they have been doing in some time. So I'm liking this right now. If we can continue having this where Kevin Owens and Braun don't fight until SummerSlam, and yet Kevin Owens is definitely affecting Braun Strowman's matches, I will enjoy this more. Next up, we did get Apollo versus Akam from the Authors of Pain. This was a singles bout. As we know right now, we've got Titus Worldwide and the Authors of Pain feuding in some way. Not really the best match. It was good. Apollo showing his in-ring skills are still up there. It's just a shame that Apollo has no personality, yet he's got a brilliant in-ring ability. It's that odd mixture in it. Someone who's really talented in the ring but has no personality, so they're throwing with Titus O'Neil to hopefully give him some personality, and yet it's still not working. Authors of Pain are very much Raw right now, as it sounds. It's probably the best feud they could get right now as the newbies on the Raw Tag Team division. But yeah, Apollo got the win. It was a good roll. Again, Akam is a big beast of a man. It looked like he was easily going to win. Apollo's speed did come in handy quite a lot of the time. But like I said, a roll-up from Apollo got him a quick victory, which was a big shock. It's a big victory for Apollo. Let's remember that. Apollo needs these type of matches to build up his portfolio. So for me, because it was quick, it does help Apollo. It builds up the feud a little bit more. You definitely know that the Authors of Pain are going to win this feud. But right now, I think they're going the right way with allowing Titus O'Neil, well, Titus Worldwide, to have these victories in small ways. So for me, it's going to get a 4 out of 10. And this moves us on to the match of the night, and that's Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, with Dolph Ziggler in the corner for Drew. And of course it was going to be match of the night. The minute we heard this match was going on, I was like, yep, this is it. This is going to be the best match. And I was right. Even though it was shorter than the previous matches we've had with Dolph and Seth and Drew, it's definitely wasn't the best match. It wasn't the best match we've seen Seth in for some time, but definitely the best match of the night. Seth and Drew are just, they're main eventers. They are so main eventers, and it's shocking that WWE don't use them correctly. But yes, very, very entertaining from start to finish. You just didn't know who was going to get the victory. Drew was very much using his more weight towards him to take that advantage. Seth's speed was a good counter to it. That obviously, Dolph Ziggler in the corner is always a threat. It looked like McIntyre was going to get it, but no, Seth managed to convert it, get the stomp onto him. He's about to get the victory. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler interferes. Dolph and Drew, it's a great little bit here at this point where Dolph's trying to beat up Seth. Seth counters it again, pushes Dolph out of the ring. Drew McIntyre's about to attack. Seth gets out of the ring. He manages to escape. Unfortunately, later on in the show, Seth is cutting an interview with Renee Young, and he's attacked by Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Really enjoying the feud between McIntyre and Ziggler. McIntyre Ziggler versus Rollins. I think it is a really good feud. I think it's the best feud on Raw right now. Very much entertaining from all three guys. Just wish they kept Finn in it, because let's be honest, those are the type of guys Finn should be working with instead of Baron Corbin. But for me, best match of the night, gonna get a 6 out of 10. Then we got a promo / match where we had the B team do a quick interview in the ring, which was fine. They talked about their last week's match against the Deleters of Worlds, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, stating that they were a bit surprised and a bit shocked that, you know, Bray and Matt were clapping them, telling them well done, and then attacked them, saying that they're just sore losers. A very, very positive reaction from the crowd. You can see they're very much behind the B team, and I can't blame them. They are entertaining for what they're doing right now. It's more fun, and they've got that comedic victory stance right now, which even the commentators have stated as well. Then the Deleters of Worlds entered the ring, saying that the B team's victory is making the universe out of balance, and they need to correct it. Then the Revival came out and stated, look, we beat Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley, 2 top guys, and we should be #1 contenders. How are you guys top of the pile? and it caused the B team to walk to the side and go, why don't you two fight it out? And they did. The Revival versus the Deleted of Worlds was a fine match. I was glad to see this starting to move up, get the Revival more and more closer to the tag team titles. They are one of the best tag teams in the world right now. They've just not been used for some time, and I think people have forgotten how good they really are. Very talented, good on the mic, good with heel tactics, old school wrestling kind of ability, which really works for this type of age we're in with the tag team division, where there's so many different types of tag teams in Raw as we speak right now. Great, it's fantastic. But yeah, the Revival managed to get a win. It looked like the Deleters of Worlds were going to get the victory, but the Revival won with the Shatter Machine, which was great. I've got to give this match a 5 out of 10 because it was a decent match between both teams, and the B teams were entertaining on commentating. Next up, we did get another tag team match where we saw Sasha Banks and Bayley teaming up to take on Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan of the Riott Squad. WWE were making this out to be a big thing because it was because of a Riott Squad that Bayley and Sasha started to splinter as friends, and this is the ultimate test. I don't think that is the case. You can definitely tell this is just a swerving tactic until one of them turns on the other and turns heel. You can definitely see that coming. They're now called the Boss and Hug Connection. Obviously, the Rock and Sock Connection is very much heavily linked into the show. They dominated. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan barely in the match. It was pretty much Sasha Banks and Bayley tagging in quite quickly on each other. They did have a good tag team finisher, which was great. It was the Banks statement moved into the Bayley finisher, which it not seen before. So that was entertaining and good to see. They were in matching uniforms. If Stephanie McMahon announces a tag team women's division with titles, Bayley and Sasha would be on top of my list for winning that titles right now. But you know that's not going to happen because WWE don't want to do it, invest another set of belts into the company because we've already got a shed load already. But yeah, it's definitely a swerve. You can tell something's going to happen sooner rather than later between the two of them. But yeah, it was fine. It wasn't anything special. So for me, it's going to get a 4 out of 10. This moves us on to the main event, and all night we had been seeing Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar backstage. And Brock Lesnar's been reading magazines, different type of magazines all night, and Paul Heyman's tried to get him to come out into the ring. Mainly because if he hadn't, Paul Heyman would be fired from WWE. Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle come out to the ring. Paul Heyman, this is after Paul Heyman has just been threatened by Brock Lesnar to do his job, saying, we're not friends, you're just a leech, do your job, Paul. Paul goes out there, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Paul Heyman, I'm the advocate for the reigning. It's a really good, Paul Heyman's really good on the mic, and he's selling of it, literally being terrified of Brock Lesnar. Shocked that he fought someone who was technically his friend, is literally just, no, you're my employee, do your job. Begs Kurt Angle, look, he's not coming out, I've tried everything. He tries to weasel his way out, which Paul Heyman's really good at doing. He sells that really well. Kurt has enough, says, look, I'm terminating your contract. Brock Lesnar does come out, does his old walk around the ring, takes the belt and gives it to Paul Heyman like he usually does, takes the mic and goes, have you got a problem with me? F5s Kurt Angle straight away. Baron Corbin steps up and then takes the belt off Paul Heyman and then attacks Paul Heyman, literally holding him by the throat. And Paul's like, I can't breathe, Brock. Brock Lesnar doesn't care. He doesn't care at this point. He's like, you're my employee, you're my bitch, do what you're told. And yeah, that was the end of a show. Really strong episode for Brock. He's probably, the segments he did do backstage were the best bits, where he asked Paul Heyman to get him steak and veg and potato, which was great. Him reading the magazines and just pretty much getting sick and tired of Paul Heyman interrupting him, saying, I just want my paycheck, I don't care about WWE, I don't even watch Raw, which was good as well. And then the final bit where he does attack Paul Heyman and Kurt Angle in the ring was great. A very strong segment. It's probably the best thing Brock's done in some time on TV. Just having Brock on the show did liven up the show quite a bit for the last 10 minutes. So I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. And there we go, guys, that was Raw for this week. We did have another backstage segment where we did see Mojo Rawley and Bobby Roode attack each other in the locker room. Again, that's building up their feud, and that's definitely going to happen next week, where they have their first match against each other. But apart from that, how was Raw? I found it mediocre for being a hype show with Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. The Ronda Rousey things was fine. The crowd were very much wanting to get her to do something. And when Brock Lesnar finally turned out into the ring and attacked Paul Heyman and Kurt Angle, it was insane. Everything else just seemed okay, apart from the Seth Rollins and McIntyre match, where you just expected to be the best match of the night, and it was. So for that alone, the show's going to get a 4 out of 10. It didn't live up to the hype it needed to. Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey did help a lot in that, but for everything else, the matches themselves, it just doesn't feel like anything's really going on Raw. Apart from the Kevin Owens bit and the McIntyre bit, it's like every other match doesn't really have a purpose just yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think? Do you think it was a good episode this week on Raw? If you thought it was a bad episode, leave it in the comments below. If you do like our videos, please like, subscribe, and press the bell button so you can keep notified. If you want to follow the channel on YouTube, on Twitter, you can do. It's at Smack Talk YouTube. That's YouTube. And you can follow me on YouTube at Twitter as well, at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.